Cadillac, what up? Old Town in the building, Orlando, Florida, 407.
Early morning grind hard till I cash out. 9 to 5 streets, I gotta cash out. Going hard in the paint until I pass out. We on a cash route, we gotta cash out. Early morning grind hard till I cash out. 9 to 5.
Welcome to Worldwide Media Source Hip Hop TV with your host DJ Iceman and Chris LaShawn. Here's Jaketa White.
Hi, I'm Jaketa White. I am a former model who also is a business entrepreneur. I have 4 different businesses. I own Mrs. James, Mrs. Nice Guy, cannabis industry. I also own Angel Skin Inc., skincare line. I also own Angel Runway, which is his clothing line. And I also have 2 salon and med spas, one located in Charlotte, one located in Denver, called Heavenly Bombshell Angels.
Well, welcome to the show, Worldwide Media Source Hip Hop TV. Today we're here to talk about a very serious topic that a lot of people may be experiencing, but today we have Jaketa White, a former Instagram model and business mogul. She has been experiencing identity theft and stalking. And can you tell us a little bit about your story, how it got started?
Sure.
Like, do you even know your stalker?
I do. I do know my stalker. 2019, he was an investor, which was helping me inside the cannabis industry. He became a, I guess, friend, I thought, at that time as an investor, and we got to know one another, and I started seeing different things that was going on with my cell phone, you know, what was happening with what was going on, and as I got into any more in-depth detail, I found out that he was the one that was doing it. Well, I came to the conclusion after so many months that he was the one that was doing it.
Have you reported to the police?
I have, yes.
What has been done since you have reported it?
Well, I have a restraining order, which is currently in progress right now. Basically, the police just keep monitoring it, seeing what's going on, you know, trying to see if we can get some more information about what it is and lead into it.
Do you know your stalker name?
I do, but I like to keep everything just not too red. I do.
So how did he begin stalking you? How did you notice that you were being stalked?
Well, started back in when we were a business investor, so we had each other's line. You know, when you have in your company, when you are dealing with it, let's say Worldwide Media Source, you and DJ Iceman, let's say that y'all a company, so y'all can still have company phones to everything to be done. So he was like, okay, well, this is how we can keep contact with each other. Here we go, have a company phone. While I had the phone with the company and we were doing it, I noticed that the same things that I noticed now, like it was certain things that was going on my phone, certain things that would be recorded. You know, actually, one day I'm sitting there and as I'm talking, a video pops up. My camera wasn't even, nothing was on, like a video popped up of something that recorded me last week, and it just happened to pop up and come through, and I'm like, well, this come through, and then that's when the green light went on.
So this was an investor that you were dealing with, and it kind of went left, and he kind of was obsessed.
Well, I guess
what is the case like?
I'm not going to tell him I'm faultless. You know what I'm saying? I would say for him to want to stalk me because nobody deserves to be stalked, but I would say that possibly being a woman, like I might have like batted my eye to a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to like maybe, you know, to invest more in the business or what needed to be done. There was never nothing ever sexual. There was never no kissing or anything that needed to be done to that point. I guess he just became, I would say, obsessed now at this present day because that's what has happened ever since 2019 up until today has to be an obsession. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it happens a lot with pretty girls and things, and you know it shouldn't happen, but it does.
Well,
how do you think he obtained your information? Like, did you give him access to it, or did he steal it from you?
I believe he's been doing it ever since the company phone we was watching. I believe he's been watching me ever since then, and he just transferred it because after all this didn't happening, I was like, I don't need a company phone. I went and I got my own phone for AT&T at that point in time. At that time, but it was a company phone, and so much of my business contacts had it, so I tried to port the number over, even it being in my name, from AT&T. And by the time I had got home, he had not already ported the number back over to the number that I had because by the time I left AT&T, the number, by the time I left AT&T, then they gave my phone, the number was ported, everything was fine, whatever. And literally from AT&T, the time I got home, maybe 20 minutes. By the time I got home, turned the phone on, not only did he port the number back over, I couldn't make a call, he'd also locked my phone.
Wow.
How many times have you had to get another phone and still go through the same
Twice.
price?
Twice. When I went to started happening at AT&T, some things happening. I figured
Is iPhones or Androids?
iPhones.
So he has to have access to your iCloud.
I believe so.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to change your passcode. You don't have access to your passcodes.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm friends with Jaketa on Facebook, y'all. There's so many. She has so many different pages. I don't know who I'm talking to, and I know she, for a fact, that she's been going through this for over a year now. She's told me stories about it, and I'm afraid of who I'm talking to when I'm in her inbox. So if I don't hear her voice, I don't know who I'm talking to. So I'm like, is this you? What was the last thing we discussed over the phone? Like, this is really scary. And how long has the police taken to respond to you, or have they even like tried to do anything to fix the situation?
Well, and they like to say they because I know, and because I definitely have some kind of proof, I guess they want smoking gun in his hand. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they would just, because smoking gun they feel is not in his hand, even though I have substantial evidence to back it up. I don't know.
I hate to bring this up, but I know you went through a extremely horrible loss of a friend through kind of the same thing, except she's just not here to tell her story anymore. So I commend you for standing up and telling your story and trying to make awareness about the situation for yourself and for others. But can you tell the people about what happened to your friend and who she was?
Well, I really want to do this whole interview, and Mr. Janae Gangier, which is my friend, a lot of people know as Mercedes Moore, which is really a famous Instagram model. She was in several videos, a lot of things. Drake even dedicated his last album to her. I don't have any friends in this world. Christine would be one that I consider left, if that's even one, but I don't consider anybody else to be a friend, but she was. Janae was beautiful. She was funny, sweet, and she was one of the most, oh my gosh, she was a life of the party. Everything that you do, you gonna go and we gonna have fun. She did not, you know, we were a celebrity. She didn't care. She treated no, like she didn't care. Everybody loved her. Like she just was who she was, and she was so down to earth. And I didn't even know for a whole year we hadn't really contacted each other to another, but I found out later on after whatever happened, that we were both going through the same thing. If you guys want to read up on the story, she came home one night, and well, all they know is that her parents did a wellness check because nobody was answering. Last time anybody had talked to her was Thursday night. Her sisters, her family, and everybody knows that she's really close to her mom. She's really close to her family. She's a tight-knit family. Nobody had heard from her since Thursday. And so they did a wellness check for them to go over to the house. Lisa came over there, her father, of course. When they broke in the door, they found her at the bottom of the stairs, just lying there. Then as they went upstairs and they found her stalker, her killer, her written blood all over the wall, all kind of different things, and he had killed himself and stabbed himself.
So he killed her, and he killed him, turned around and killed himself.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
What's your speculation? I don't like to speculate on a lot because the family really doesn't want to talk about it too much.
That's a lot.
But it was said that he had like she was opening up her garage, or she was coming in, he'd hidden somewhere, and she didn't even see him. He'd snuck in, and she was like right there, and he wasn't even paying attention. He had gotten him, but he was stalking her for so long. He was just about to move, like myself. After what I've heard, she was, had moved once. You know what I'm saying? Like moved because of what's going on. It was stalking. I don't really know the whole story, so I don't really know too much on it. But what I do know that she's dearly missed from all of us who love her, including her family, and it was senseless. It was tragic.
An incredibly tragic story here. We have learned new information that the 33-year-old social media model was strangled to death. That's according to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office, and police are also now trying to figure out a timeline of when this all may have happened, and also shared with us that they have not seen any signs of forced entry to the apartment. The details still murky as to what led up to the horrific murder of 33-year-old Janae Gagnier, known as Miss Mercedes Moore on social media, with a following of 2.6 million.
We want to find out why her, why him.
The body of the woman was discovered Sunday afternoon inside her apartment at the Cortland Sugarland complex. According to the medical examiner, she died of strangulation and traumatic concussion in what police are investigating as a murder-suicide. A second body also found. Richmond police say it belongs to this man, 34-year-old Kevin Accordo, who died by suicide caused by multiple sharp force trauma.
We found her in her apartment doing a welfare check. People haven't heard from her in a couple days.
It was the woman's family that called police asking for a welfare check on Sunday. Gagnier's father was with officers when they made the gruesome discovery.
People were asking about the relationship between her and the suspect. And at this time, we are doing some investigating on social media to determine if there is an exact cause.
And investigators would not share with us whether or not anything was taken from inside of this woman's apartment. And they also tell us that the last known address for the suspect in this case is out of Florida.
It's tragic. But this person has been stalking her like as long as I have. And there's many other stories, if you guys were looking on it, that I've done my research. This has happened, so many that it has happened to guys have been putting, what do you call it, air tags on YouTube. One guy shot up a girl in in Dallas. She had said the week before that she had found a tracker on her car. Next thing you know, she got shot up on the highway.
I think I did hear about that. Yeah.
Another girl had found another tracker in her car, ended up killing her as well too.
So it's more than this, just the cyber stalking and stalking going on, because it's human trafficking going on. And I think that's where all that the trackers, they trying to track young beautiful women. Shit, they trying to track anybody, I think, for organs. So the human trafficking is more than just about sex, to be honest. It's more than just sex trafficking. There's organ trafficking going on too with that.
I have a story behind that if you guys would like to hear a little bit about that. I know everybody that follows, too many that follow me. I know Christy Glazer, you just following me. You just started following me on Jamel. But the reason that I live in Denver, technically, live in Denver, Colorado, but I kind of don't like being in Colorado right now. So I've been in Charlotte. That's why my business is Charlotte. And I came to Charlotte in August of 2021. So I've been back and forth between Charlotte, Denver, and Charleston. But whenever I'm home, I might be home a day. I can't even stay there, and it didn't even happen. So I started going to Colorado Springs. I was learning to Colorado Springs about, I'm not going to speak too much on it, but it was something for me to go back there to. It was, okay, I can say this, as a grower. I'm looking for some growers. It was like, well, come up here, I have a grower, so I would come there. To find out, I was lured there. Like, it was all set up for me to get there. By the time I had gotten there, it was chaos. Well, the first 2 days was fun. Everybody was cool. Everybody thought everybody was nice. They do it tonight. I thought everybody was whatever. They were, good people. Come to find out they weren't. They were trying to human sex traffic me, which my stalker, I believe, and they said my son had paid them to do that, to stalk me, to kidnap me, and to do this and that. Because
I remember when you was saying that, you was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe what happened to me. I was about to be human sex trafficked." You was going crazy on the internet about that shit, but. Like, this shit is for real.
Yeah, if I can just tell what it's deep.
Like, it's really, really bad in this day and age. So, if nobody, they have all these laws out here, but what about cyber laws? Since everything's going cyber now, internet now, even with dating and people getting, jacked out of their money, false love, false catfishing, all that. Like, all this, we really need real cyber police. For cyber. We need a whole task force.
Yes, I'm being honest. Because if I want to share this story right here as well too, because it's how real sex trafficking is. And I'll put it in my heart that I want to say this because this is meant to say, like, and to make a long story short, I went to Colorado Springs. When it all started happening, I was homeless. When I say homeless, I mean homeless because I was running every day from sex traffickers. In the daytime, they would have people that would follow me, and at the night, the traffickers would try to grab me. I'm literally me grabbing. I'm not joking. I mean, I would see them.
What did you do to protect yourself?
I hid. I ran and hid. Every 20 seconds. I ran. And I hid. I slept on the cars. I slept anywhere I could go. I slept in bushes, running from them. I slept in for 2.5 weeks. Like, I have my family, everybody knew what was going through. I didn't have a cell phone and did everything because they convinced me to ditch my cell phone because it was hacked, telling me to get rid of it. That's why it all started. So I wouldn't have any way to get in contact with anybody. So I had no way to get money.
So how do you know that the person that you think is stealing your identity is not those same people?
That's who I know that it is. I wouldn't say
they working together.
They were working together. All of it is part of one.
Do you think you need a bodyguard now?
No, God, I'm protected by the Most High, and the Most High, I have no fear. I know that God got me. That's who got me through all of that. They were trying to grab me. I will say this: the night before I got the safety, or the day before, I was in the store, and I was just, because I kept kind of having to go store to ask people to use their phones. So and some people wouldn't let me, you know what I'm saying, because they treat the homeless really bad, or they think you're homeless, so you go and do it like they don't. They wouldn't let me. I kind of, I should keep trying to call my sister to get the help and what needs to be done. One lady looked me dead in my face and said, "I don't help moms. You help yourself. I just want to use her phone. I wasn't asking her for money. You know what I'm saying? No money. I just want to use her phone."
And that's sad.
Anyway, make a long story short, as I was coming out, this dude comes out. I was just a normal person in the store. I thought it was just in the store, so I was using the phone and just got off the phone with my sister, and then hung up. And I was walking, and he looks at me and he says, You've been lucky, but we gonna get you tonight." And he walked straight out the door.
Wow. What was this at?
In Colorado Springs.
Oh my God.
And don't think this can happen to you because you think you're safe. This can happen to anybody. And this is a witness. And it's happening to over 1 million people.
I saw kids that were 13, 14, 10-year-old that were out there, like when they had money. All of them had question marks on their arm right here. The single one was like a brain. They all had a question mark on their right here. None of the kids were over 13 years old. Kids. And they would walk, and and my heart just created. I just wanted to grab one. And one girl that was coming to me like, oh, she wanted drugs. I asked her to use her phone. She said she couldn't let me use it because her daddy said she couldn't tell anybody. She couldn't use her phone to get anything that happened. She wasn't allowed to. She was such a kid. And she was like, "Do you have any drugs?" I said, "No." She was like, "I just need some drugs." I said, "Oh, I don't have any." Her pumped her so full that I just wanted to help her. She was like, "Can I at least have a cigarette?" I didn't have anything to give her. I was on the street.
So when did all this take place? Is this taking place now, or did this taking place years ago? When did
this took place, it took place July 2021. For 2 weeks, I went through it every single night. I slept under it, and I wouldn't even sleep. Like, I could hear the feet or cars running around and looking for what I was
So why didn't you come back home?
I did. That's when I came home.
Oh, but you still had to stay for 2 weeks.
No, I mean, after I left to Colorado Springs, I live in Denver. So once I was finally able to get to somebody then I got the safety. I called my child's father, and I asked him to, I had something that was left over in Venmo. You know what I'm saying? So I did not have any money. I didn't have anything. I really couldn't get in touch with anybody. So I finally was able to, I was trying to get what needed to be done. So when I went to a shelter. The shelter had a lot to do with the sex trafficking. They were pretty much everything that went to the sex trafficking. Yeah, I mean, it got really deep. So as I went to the shelter,
the shelter's not safe for the ladies.
Not in Colorado Springs, I wouldn't say no. Because I was there when I met a transgender girl, and we were talking, we were cool. Stayed at the shelter maybe a day or two, but the whole time they were sizing me up. Because unfortunately, even though I was homeless, I was running. I still, I guess, looked the part of something that was totally different. And me being a trusting person that I was, because it's not anymore. I'm talking to them, letting them know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back. So as I'm doing that, she's like, "Well, come with me to the store. This is a true story. Everything that I love, I'm not joking. I would not make anything in this up what happened. This is true." So I walked to the store, and made me walk to the store with her. Not because the shelter you had to be by about 10 o'clock at night, so this was 9 o'clock. As I walked to the store, I'm telling you, it's like Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like zombies everywhere that's out there. But I'm not thinking anything. I walked to the store with this transgender girl, and she's nice and sweet, I think. By the time I get out there, I see a black man and a white man. Black man, 2 black boys pull up with 2 guns. They pull out the guns. I don't even know how I got away. I ran. And it started from there. And it's no joke. So everyone I went to Colorado Springs, it was like a complete nightmare.
How do you intend on resolving the situation? Like, if you don't have the help of the police, or you don't really have nobody there, you're putting your awareness out there now about what's going on, but how do you intend to protect yourself if you feel people are coming after you?
I'm not scared. I believe that I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. There's nothing anybody can do, because through all of that, I got out of all of that because of God. It was nothing but God that day. The day before I got the safety, I saw 2 double rainbows in the sky. I got down on my knees and started just praising God. I knew right then and there it was going to be all right, because it was hell. I literally felt like I was in hell. I every day I knew that I was in hell because those whatever that was, it wasn't human.
But God brought you through that.
Yes, He did.
But you still having issues with the cyber security, the sex trafficking thing's not underway. It's still undergo.
Well, I got from out of there and left from there, and I just left from Colorado. And if I go home, I'm ready for a day. But I've been just shot it ever since I came back on the East Coast. I had to get ring it out. You know?
Have you tried to talk to any other police besides the ones you told?
I kind of just really gave up on the you know, because of everything that was going on. So I just kind of went to the police. It's just something I have a restraining order as it is now. But I mean, the reason I want to bring awareness to this, and I'm grateful for what y'all are doing this, is the mental health behind this. Mentally, this messes with you mentally in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's draining on top of everything. And like, when you constantly have every day somebody, everything you work hard for, somebody that can at the minute stop your message your phone or change your emails or your funds. Like, you know, like I'm telling you.
You running businesses on top
right,
of that.
And everything on top of that is
money. That's costing you money. That's why I say stuff.
At that point in time, until you really gathered, you really don't. My thing is, when I came from Colorado Springs after everything happened, I was supposed to check myself in the mental institution. I know I needed whatever after that.
You gotta get mental health.
Yeah.
Black people, we all need help.
Yeah. I agree on healing. You know, like healing, I'm gonna be part too. Last night I showed me something about a woman that was talking about fear. You know, like how fear is the number one big thing that is in there. It does, and it really, that's what the enemy uses to pull us a lot of things. You know, fear and how it gets to us and a lot of what it does. And for so long I was hiding all of this, you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to bring it out, oh, I'm covered, or I'm not going to worry about it, I'm not going to let them in, and all this stuff. And the more I pushed it down and made it look out like it was okay, I wasn't. Until December of this year, I attempted to commit suicide, and I haven't told anybody. You know,
you sure didn't tell me, and I just saw you right before then, and you was telling me about what you was going through.
And it was that day, and he said, listen, I couldn't take it anymore.
That's when she was talking about the cybersecurity stuff, and
I couldn't take it anymore.